All right, good morning, everybody. It is finally Friday. We're in that book there. We start a whole new section today. Jesus' ministry beyond Galilee. Jesus didn't limit his ministry to the people of Israel. He went beyond the borders of his nation, ministering to Gentiles in cities to the north and east of Galilee. His message was not only for one group of people, but for the entire world. And today he talks about Jesus sends a demon out of a girl. And it's a parallel, two-part parallel, and we start at Matthew chapter 15, starting at verse 21. Then Jesus left Galilee and went north to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Gentile woman who lived there came to him, pleading, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David, for my daughter is possessed by a demon that torments her severely." But Jesus gave her no reply, not even a word. Then his disciples urged him to send her away. "Tell her to go away," they said. "She is bothering us with all her begging." Then Jesus said to the woman, "I was sent only to help God's lost sheep, the people of Israel." But she came and worshipped him, pleading again, "Lord, help me." And Jesus responded, "It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs." She replied, "That is true, Lord, but even dogs are allowed to eat the scraps that fall beneath the master's table." "Dear woman," Jesus said to her, "your faith is great. Your request is granted." And her daughter was instantly healed. From
Instantly.
Huh?
Instantly.
Instantly, yep. Now, from there we go to Mark chapter 7, starting at verse 24. Then Jesus left Galilee and went north to the region of Tyre. He didn't want anyone to know which house he was staying in, but he couldn't keep it a secret. Right away, a woman who had heard about him came and fell at his feet. Her little girl was possessed by an evil spirit, and she begged him to cast out the demon from her daughter. Since she was a Gentile, born in Syrian Phoenicia, Jesus told her, "First I should feed the children, my own family, the Jews. It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs." She replied, "That's true, Lord, but even the dogs under the table are allowed to eat the scraps from the children's plates." "Good answer," he said. "Now go home, for the demon has left your daughter." And when she arrived home, she found her little girl lying quietly in a bed, and the demon was gone. Didn't even need to see her. Didn't have to do anything other than just say it was going to happen, and it was done.
Yep.
Now the commentary from Matthew. Puzzled by Jesus' silence, the disciples asked him to get rid of the woman because she was bothering them with her persistent begging. They showed no compassion for her or sensitivity to her needs. It is possible to become so occupied with spiritual matters that we become oblivious to the needs around us. This may be true especially if we are prejudiced against needy people or if they cause us inconvenience. Instead of being annoyed, be aware of the opportunities that surround you and make an effort to look for ways to minister to others. Jesus' words do not contradict the truth that God's message is for all people. Psalm 22, verse 27, Isaiah 56, verse 7, Matthew chapter 28, verse 19, and Romans 15, verses 9 through 12. After all, when Jesus said these words, he was in Gentile territory on a mission to Gentile people. He ministered to Gentiles on many other occasions also. Jesus was simply telling the woman that Jews were to have the first opportunity to accept him as Messiah because God wanted them to present the message of salvation to the rest of the world. And that's in Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. Jesus was not rejecting a Gentile woman. He may have wanted to test her faith, or he may have wanted to use the situation as another opportunity to teach that faith is available to all people. Dogs was a term for the Jews commonly applied to Gentiles because the Jews considered these pagan people no more likely than dogs to receive God's blessing. Jesus was not degrading the woman by using this term. He was reflecting the Jews' attitude so as to contrast with his own. The woman did not argue. Instead, using Jesus' choice of words, she agreed to be considered a dog as long as she could receive God's blessing for her daughter. Ironically, many Jews would lose God's blessing and salvation because they rejected Jesus, and many Gentiles would find salvation because they recognized and accepted him. Now the commentary from Mark. Jesus traveled about 30 miles to Tyre. The cities of Tyre and Sidon were port cities in the Mediterranean Sea north of Israel. Both had flourishing trade and were very wealthy. They were proud, historic Canaanite cities. In David's day, Tyre was on friendly terms with Israel, 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 11. But soon afterward, the city became known for its wickedness. Its king even claimed to be God, and that's in Ezekiel 28, verses 1 through 19. Tyre rejoiced when Jerusalem was destroyed in 586 BC, because without Israel's competition, Tyre's trade and profits would increase. It was into this evil and materialistic culture that Jesus brought his message. This woman was called a Gentile, born in Syria's Phoenicia. Mark's designation refers to her political background. His Roman audience would have easily identified her by part of the empire that was her home. On the surface, Jesus' words may seem harsh and unsympathetic, but the woman recognized him as a wide-open door to God's throne. The woman took the title that was created by Jews as a derogatory name for Gentiles and turned it into an analogy for her status as an expected beggar at Jesus' feet. Her attitude was hopeful, not prickly or hypersensitive. She knew what she wanted, and she believed Jesus could provide it. We could learn from this woman's singular purpose and optimistic resilience. Jesus really does want to meet our needs. When we pray, we're talking to a friend. This miracle shows that Jesus' power over demons is so great that he doesn't need to be present physically in order to free someone. His power transcends any distance. I don't believe I have anything to add to that today.
That's pretty good comment.
Just, the fact that he didn't have to see or anything. He knew exactly where this little child was and knew exactly what to do and instantly healed.
Because of faith.
Faith, and it all had to do with faith.
Jesus.
Yep. Okay. Hope everybody has a glorious day, and we'll talk to you later.